Hey, how you doing? Do you love Florida? Do you want to hear some travel news and first-hand hints and tips for your next Florida trip? Cool. Well, that's coming right up. Good evening and welcome to Your Florida Adventures, the show where we talk travel news and we talk to our guests about their hints and tips for your next Florida trip. My name's Lewis and I'll be your host for the next 45 minutes, maybe 60 minutes or so. And first and foremost, I'm a fan of Florida and I'm a regular visitor. And also, I run a company called Your Great Adventures, and we're a travel agency company that specializes in Florida and the US. And we send our customers to all over the world. Now, as a fan of Florida, which I'm sure many of you guys are, it holds a magic. It's a magical place. It holds a lot of special memories in my heart, and I love to talk to people about their trips, and I like to find out something new that I've never really done before, and that's what this show is all about. And let's be honest, traveling to Florida can be a bit daunting, can't it? Even for a regular, there's so many things to plan and see and do. So over the coming weeks, I'll be chatting to loads of brilliant guests about and discover what makes them return to the happiest place on earth time after time, and ask about their personal hints and tips that makes their trip special. And whether you've been to Florida loads of times or you're planning your very, very first trip, I'm sure there'll be something in these shows for you. Now, this is live, and as we know, with all things live, anything can happen. So please be aware of that. But what I would like to say is I'd love you to join in with the conversation. Do put some questions and comments in the comments bar. And as we go through the show, I will do my very utmost to read out your questions for our guests and read out your comments. So without further ado, it is my pleasure and honour for our very, very first show to introduce our guests this evening. And I know that many of you will know these guys anyway, but I want to take you back in Scooby-Doo Skull and take you back to November 9, 2019, the time when we could actually meet people face to face. And I met one of these guys at a Disney meet, and when I saw this person coming over, I'm going to be really honest, I was like, "Oh, I've seen you on the YouTube videos," and I just thought, they were going to talk about their channel and all that kind of stuff. But the very, very first thing they asked, and continued throughout the evening, was, "How are you? What about you?" They wanted to know all about me. And since that initial meeting, I've got to know both of these guys really, really well. And I'd like to say that I'm friends with them now. They're the most genuine and kind people I think I've ever met. They really just want to help people. And throughout this kind of last year or so, they've been amazing at lifting our spirits and bringing us some great joy with quizzes and chats, and really wanting to help us do great, have a great time despite the kind of the mood of the nation. So please give it up for Jen and Del.
All right. Hey, what's up, you lovely lot? What an intro.
Yeah, I nearly cried. That was lovely.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh no, it's an absolute pleasure.
He's missed
I mean,
it.
you know,
Missed it. He's gone.
oh,
Come back over.
where was it? Hang on.
There you go. I
Back
don't
in.
know. We practiced.
That's
We practiced.
There you go.
He's
Oh, man.
froze. Next time.
Oh yeah, we'll get it. We'll get
Thank
it. We'll
you.
get it.
Lewis,
So,
honestly, thank you for such kind words and letting
Oh.
us like come on your show. Very first one. We're very humbled. Thank you.
Man, it's the pleasure. And I mean that I've said, you know, you guys are great, and you know, you really have kept us going in the group, and you know, we couldn't have done it without you. And you got. Oh, I forgot to actually give you your taglines. I'm really sorry. Which was, please welcome the King of Screams and the Queen of Cool. You know,
That's
hey,
cool.
I need to rewrite the script. But thank you so much, and for joining me tonight. And I just want to ask, how do you feel about it? This is a really difficult question to answer because you don't really know what's coming, do you?
No.
Well, we kind of got an idea.
Got an idea.
We got an idea. And when you told us about this idea, it was like, why hasn't this been done sooner? And you know, and now I feel like there's these vaccines. I feel like 21 is a brand new year with a lot of hope in it. It's a new start, fresh start, and there's lots of news coming out, which I'm sure you can be going through and all that kind of stuff. So we're ready. We're sat here anticipating whatever you're going to ask us.
Yes, we're waiting.
Cool. All right. Okay. Well, let's get on. Before I do, I just want to put this little comment out from our very own Tammy, who has said, "Who are they? I've never seen them before," which is a bit rude, don't you think? But loads of people in the comments are saying hi to you guys, and so one of the things that I love to do is chat. You know that, Del, because we spend hours on the phone.
It usually starts with, "I've only got 15 minutes, Lewis." An hour will go past. But you know what? You're an absolute joy to chat with, and you know, and that's what happens when you talk to people that's engaging and you're interested in the conversation, and you know, it's just a fun time. So you know, long may it continue.
Bless you, bless you. Well, I'm really interested in people's journeys as to how they kind of got to Florida from the very first instance to where they are now. So I don't want you to give your whole life story in one go, but I think it'll be really great to hear. Jen, if I may, can you cast your mind back to that very first time when you guys sort of thought, we're going to do Florida? And what was that process before you even got to the booking stage? What kind of went through your mind? How did you get to that point of saying, I want to go to Florida?
Well, it wasn't me at all. It was actually Del. He was like,
okay.
So, you know, I had no clue, never really interested. You know, I knew nothing.
Zero.
Like nothing about planning it, anything. So
I was left.
Oh,
I was left to figure it, and it's a minefield when you first ever start. And when we started, there were places called Debenhams
where they had someone sitting in a store just at a desk where you could go and book.
Yeah, we actually we went in store and booked it in Debenhams first.
We were actually planned to go in 2012.
Yeah.
But we had to cancel it.
Because of Olympics. COVID went around then.
No, it was the Olympics.
Right.
Yes.
Because you wanted to be at the Olympics, or you wanted to experience it?
No, work unfortunately. Yeah. So I won't say what I do, but because of work, it got cancelled. All the annual leave. So it was like, so we had a massive trip plan, but we had to postpone it. So we postponed it to September 2014. And it was booked it, Virgin Holidays. We joined a website back then called The Dib. And I think, if I remember rightly, that was where I first kind of saw Tammy's comments because she was always really helpful in helping out with what's this restaurant, what's the V Lounge, what's this,
we knew nothing, like nothing at all.
Well, you got to think, if it's your first time, if someone said to you, oh yeah, if you're going to go with Virgin, for example, make sure you get the bubble. What the heck's the bubble if you've never been? So I remember, Tammy especially helping to comment and filling us in on what stuff was. So 2014, I booked it. Jen knew nothing about
but I
Florida.
got the bug.
Zero.
And so, Del, what was it that you thought, I just want to go there? This looks amazing. Or was there something behind it?
Yeah. So in 2016, I worked at Fort Park for one season.
2006.
Oh, 2006. Sorry, I worked at Fort Park for one season, and I loved it. So I kind of got I like theme parks from there. I thought that escapism was pretty cool, but the parks in the UK are nothing like over in Florida. And when you start to look at what Florida has to offer, it's not just Disney. You've got Universal, and in 2014, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley was just opening. And it was actually Harry Potter that really enticed me. But we thought, let's do Disney as well. And then it was, I knew I was going to propose to Jen. So it was, how do I do it? Where's the best place in Florida to propose? And I was slightly going off track here, but the first place I was going to propose was actually in Discovery Cove. And I remember asking Jen, saying, how do you feel about swimming with dolphins?
Yeah, I'd done it in the Dominicans. I was like, I've done it already.
I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? I thought having a dolphin, help with the proposal was the best thing ever. I was like, I can never think of anything that will top that. And so when we was planning and booking, I was taking into account stuff that I knew I wanted to do out there that was going to be memorable, and the proposal for that trip was a big deal to me. But I also knew I wanted to do it on the first day. I was nervous, and I felt a little like Frodo carrying his freaking ring.
So interesting enough, I actually just there it is. And interesting enough, I was watching that very vlog with my daughter Evie the other night. Actually, we're going back to seeing your first ones. And I have to be honest, I didn't realize that was your first time going. So I mean, I think because. How many times have you actually been able to go since then?
So it's been 4 times now.
4 times.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what?
But it feels
best, wasn't it? The first time I went to Florida, I think we hit Florida at a time when there wasn't much construction going on. There wasn't these big changes being implemented. You still had all of your cast members, your parades, your shows. That first trip was truly special, because since then we've either had hurricanes or some other crazy stuff happen on the way. So the first trip, and it's true, people say, you always remember your first one. That is so true. Over to you, Lewis.
Well, okay, so you've done your first trip. Okay, what was it about Florida in itself that kind of you thought, I've got to go back?
I think we just got the bug, didn't we? We just loved the escapism, the heat, the everything. I think and then as soon as we were there, literally come back, it was like, let's book another one.
Oh man, There's nothing
Did
quite
you get
like
the Disney blues?
Big time.
But we were trying to buy a house at the same time, so
it's female.
It was quite difficult.
It was beautiful to go away with Jen and see this transformation. So Jen, as I said, had never been to Florida, had no real big interest in it. Like Disney to Jen was probably just about the movies. And then all of a sudden you've turned up and there's a Magic Kingdom, there's an Animal Kingdom, there's an Epcot, there's a Hollywood Studios, there's characters.
The whole city.
Hang on a minute, there's restaurants, there's rides, there's theming, there's nice, happy people.
Yeah.
What? And then there's Universal and SeaWorld and Busch Gardens and International Drive and these fantastic places like Vineland Outlets.
Oh, I love that.
You know, there's all of these things. It's like we haven't been somewhere where it has so much in one place that we enjoy.
And you just can't do everything on one trip, so you have to go back.
Yeah, it is an addiction. It's an obsession. It's something that I talk about the most. I probably talk about Florida every single day, whether that's what's the latest news, what's your favorite ride, what are you looking forward to, what's coming next. Florida has something for everyone, whether that's nostalgia or brand new stuff that's coming in. It is a place like no other, except if you go California and Shanghai and you know, all these places. But Florida, I know, like, I can't speak on behalf of Jen, but Florida changed me. That's for sure. That escapism, that feeling of I haven't got work for 2 weeks, haven't got to think about anything. And I don't know if anyone in the chat would agree with this, but when you arrive, it's not Monday, it's not Tuesday. It turns into today's Magic Kingdom day, today's Animal Kingdom day. You know, I need to get up. I want to go to Flight of Passage. Whereas you're back in the UK, it's like, I've got to get up. I've got to go work. I've got to
do the washing up.
You know, and Florida is the only holiday where, yes, I believe that you have to plan Florida. I don't believe that you can just turn up and just coast it. I think Florida now, you need planning. Like, if you want to do certain restaurants, if you want to do certain attractions, I think you got to plan it. But just getting there's hard.
Yeah. And like the very first time, did you? I think you did, from like your very first vlog that I saw, when you were kind of like, Jen had really swollen ankles and literally couldn't walk when coming back. Like, did you go big, like completely do everything on your very first time?
Yeah.
Well, we try, but you just can't do everything. But we pushed ourselves, and obviously for me, I didn't realize how much walking and how much heat, and I think my ankles just was like, no,
Cankles.
I've had enough.
Cankles.
I could not walk. But we know for future trips, trainers, you know, walking,
get fit for Florida.
But yeah, we try. We're that couple where we're up early, go, you know, stay all day.
All day.
Do
you remember we went to Magic Kingdom and we were there for 16 hours. And we were staying at the Caribbean, which meant we had to get the bus back after Magic. So after all the fireworks and the great big wishes, we was lucky to see wishes. We got on this bus, and it wasn't a normal Disney bus. It was one of them.
It was a bendy bus.
It was a bendy bus, and Jen and I were in the middle of the bend, so it was so freaking packed. I remember I had one hand, Jenny had one hand as well, and when
couldn't stand because my ankles were swollen. I
remember, like, as the bus was turning, I'd see Jen turn, and then I would turn. I was just like, "Hang on, Jen, we'll be back in a minute." And by the time we got back to the resort, it was like, I remember Jen almost crawling.
I nearly crawled to the room.
To the room. But you know what? It's amazing what you do in the day, and then you get up and do it all over again. It's like, you know, that's kind of what we do now. And sorry, I'm yabbing away.
No, good. Like our friend Danny says on here, you need about 6 months to get it all done now.
Yeah.
So it should be all just moved out. I think pretty much everybody is in agreement that we probably should. I think that's definitely my long-term plan anyway. I'm sure it's for yeah, man. Absolutely. So can I just take a step back slightly, because we've talked a bit about, you know, you go in and your process for getting there, but I want to talk about the flight, because it's not unknown, Del, that you're quite a nervous flyer.
Yes.
So I think it would be quite good, as we're talking about hints and tips here. Do you have any hints and tips for anybody that might be a nervous flyer, or do you just grit your teeth and get on with it?
I think it depends on what type of nervous flyer you are, because there's some nervous flyers where they can take, a prescribed tablet, and that may help them. The trouble, do you know what? I'm going to be so brutally honest here. I know what caused my fear, apart from heights. Heights has always been a thing. But the night before we went on our first trip to Florida, I decided it would be a good idea to watch the 10 world's worst plane crashes on YouTube.
Yes.
And it's stuck with me ever since. So, mine is not necessarily like the heights. Mine's more that the captain's had a bad day and he's taking us with him.
Yeah, but for you, I think for you,
Control.
when we get on the plane, you usually speak to the air hostess, and you always say, "Look, I'm a nervous flyer."
Oh, I'll freak out.
And they always look after you. They're like, you let them know.
I mean, they're very good like that.
Yeah, Virgin was.
So, there's a quick question here, just to say, Skyflyer or flights, what's worse for you?
I think it's sadly, it's the flights. I only do it
to get there.
I hate it, but I've trained the brain to everything with the travel days in stages for us. Like, I've got my brain into, you get up, you check in, you go to V Lounge. After V Lounge, we might look around a couple of shops. And then the moment we walk into the actual plane itself, it's like, oh, here we go. I know that there's some of you that love flying. I get it, respect it. That's all good. I am not a fan. I'm not in control. If I could sit with the pilots and they're all good, like, they're like, there's no turbulence coming today, Del. If I could see what was happening there, I'd probably be a lot better. But the fact you're in that, you're in the seat and you just like,
you're not in control. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, plane starts giving it. Ooh. And the noises, like noises, when you hear the freaking bing bong, I'm like, what is that? It freaks me out. Like, I struggle to watch a movie on a plane. Massively. In fact, I remember Jen fell asleep and we hit some turbulence. I was like, Jen, wake up. I'm scared. And she was like, nah, I'm all right. I'm going back to sleep. just freak out. I hate flying. Hate it. Yeah. And it is what it is. It's part and parcel of getting to Florida, and I would do it in a heartbeat to get back there. I think it's a control thing. But advice for nervous flyers, if you can, if tablets will work for you, if the apple juices for the adults helps you, then whatever it takes to help you, just do it. Absolutely. Be responsible. Don't be like me.
We've had some suggestions like noise cancelling headphones, a couple of gins is helpful. So there's definitely some suggestions on the chat that of how to help a nervous flyer. So but I just want to well, I'll try and put some stuff on there for you. But lots of people are saying apple juice helps. So indeed,
it's worth it. It's worth.
Well, next time you can't have apple juice.
No.
You'll dry them.
But you know what? Just a real quick one on flying is when you land and the brakes come on, that plane, you're safe. Oh man, the euphoria that comes over me, and then you hear over the tannoy, ladies and gents, the local time is blah blah. Welcome to Orlando. I remember cheering and no one else did. Has that ever happened? You give it the big no one else does.
There's only one time that I've ever had a cabin cheer, and that was on a very, very turbulent landing. When I think literally, I remember. Sorry, this is going a little bit off topic, but I do remember. I was quite young, and probably my late teens, early 20s, and there's a group of us. We're in a choir actually, and we'd gone to and we came back from Sweden, and literally the plane was going like this all the way down. It was just so windy, and there was about 17 or 17, 18 of us kids with our hands in the air going, "Way, way!" Whereas everybody else around us was like literally praying,
Yeah,
and getting their Bibles out and all sorts. So it's but that's my only kind of experience of when the whole cabin kind of went and clapped. So flying. There's a lot of people that love flying. There's a lot of people that are saying that they love the takeoff and the landing. That's favorite parts. So but yes, you're right. For nervous flyers, it's not the ideal, but it is a means to an end, and it's a way of getting there. Absolutely. So we are kind of going a bit here, there, and everywhere, and I am already conscious of time. So I just want to kind of because I think we probably could talk for hours and hours and hours and hours, but let's leave everybody wanting more. But I just want to know on this bit, the floggings side of things. Was that preconceived idea before you were going, or how did that come about?
Okay, because of time, I'll be real quick. So that Florida holiday in 2014, the way that we filmed that was for friends and family. So your typical just us, your typical like that. And then we came home from that, and then 2 months after that, I got really badly injured at work. And while I was home, I taught myself how to edit videos. I'd watched some other YouTubers, and I'd learned how to edit. So I used this time to occupy like myself, and we put the first video we put out.
Hobby, didn't it?
It was like I saw other people putting their stuff up, so I thought, well, what about us? So we could maybe do that. Yeah. And then the first ever video we put on was Carly River Rapids at Animal Kingdom. And that was it. Someone watched it, and I remember feeling like, oh, this is pretty cool. And it kind of led to that, really. But now it's like we get messages of people asking us, when's the next vlog? Like, what's happening? Why, we film a lot of stuff.
We have got a lot of content.
Too much. Like, I would love to pay someone to edit this stuff. I really, really would. But yeah, it's just snowballed into, I didn't realize there was a Florida community that was so passionate about this place and the attractions, and people want to talk about it, whether it's the restaurants, the rides, movies that are coming out in relation. You look at Spider-Man as an example. You've got that attraction coming over in California and stuff like that. We now want to surround ourselves with people that love Florida just as much as us, because it makes us happy. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a weird way of answering that question.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. So we know that you went to Caribbean Beach for your very first day. Has your stays since then changed, or have they? Are you kind of like on-site, off-site people? Have you tried the whole villa side of things? What is the what do you guys prefer, or have found that you love?
I would say that we prefer on-site, the Disney bubble or the Universal bubble, but then we've also tried, we've done the Hilton SeaWorld, which is across the road from SeaWorld. So we like to be close to things, because we didn't really drive. We did try a villa for
2017.
For a week or two with our friends. It was pretty good. I liked having a car. I did enjoy having a car. And no, we are going to try different this year. We have booked it very different this year.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff I can say, but Jen, you know what? You're absolutely right. I think I think for us, if money wasn't an option, I personally would stay on site every time. But on site at Disney for the Disney portion, on site at Universal, and so on and so forth. And I think I'll go to Disney real quick. When you stay on site at Disney, you get this bubble feeling. It's like you're in your own world.
You've got so much transport as well.
Yeah.
Skyliner and
I've
buses.
never felt that anywhere else but Disney. A little bit at Universal, but you still feel a bit more outside in Universal. Whereas Disney, like you're in there. Like they say it's the size of San Francisco and you kind of feel it there. And Jen, you're right. The transportation at Disney made it possible for us to, we like around. Jen is a big fan of those apple juice drinks. She's lured me in to drink those as well. So it's handy for us to be on site and get a bus, or hopefully next time get the Skyliner. Stuff like that. We didn't get the chance to do the minivans, but Disney offer great transportation. But if we could, we would favor on site just because of the perks. I know that's a bit contentious now, but back then the perks were a lot different.
Yeah.
And they lured us in. On site.
Absolutely. Sorry. There's a slight delay on here, I think. So it's just so I'm an on-site guy, I must say. We've done the villa, we've done hang on.
Yeah, you got it.
Right, so I'm an on-site guy for sure. But as a family, we love staying on site.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's a cost in that, and right now we kind of have to weigh up those costs to because really we just want to get there. It doesn't really matter how we say that, but it does. It's all part of the experience, and it is really important. And talking of parks and experiences, we've already touched again on you've done. You love the Disney, you love the Universal. Where do they sit in your kind of your loves? And do you've obviously go to other parks as well. What kind of is your kind of spheres of must-dos when you're in Florida?
Well, I can't miss Disney and I can't miss Universal. There's certain things I don't mind not doing.
Wow. Go on, Jen.
No, I'm just saying, like, Disney and Universal are my must-dos.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Controversial. I'm a fan of SeaWorld. Boo, hiss, yeah. But they got some great rides. And, things like Mako, Journey to Atlantis, Infinity Falls, Manta, Icebreaker soon. Like, I'm a big fan of SeaWorld for their attractions that they do. I'm also a fan of Fun Spot, which is like a family-owned little theme park. And there's two of them. There's some shops along 192 that we've been to. One, Magic Castle.
Oh, the tap
remember
shops.
that? Yeah. The flea markets and stuff like that. Oh, that's fantastic. You go in there, you get all your gifts for your co-workers. Here's a $2 pen that you'll never use.
My must-do is the outlets as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like someone went to Florida one time. They brought me back a rubber. I was like, you don't see me writing with pencils no more. Rubber. And I'm in the rubber for the pencil.
Done these things, haven't they?
Anything can happen when you lie.
Absolutely. Oh dear. Well, so other than the two major parks, then I know that you guys are. I think it's fair to say, and SeaWorld is another favourite, as you've said, but you kind of love Busch Gardens, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, love Busch Gardens. Yeah, definitely.
Busch Gardens is like the home of the thrill rides. I feel like Busch Gardens has the most amount of roller coasters. Like, if you're a fan of roller coasters, Busch Gardens is probably winning for how many they have. Your Shikra, your Manta, your Cheetah Hunt, soon to be Iron Gwazi, Montu. Yeah, so many, like all in one park. But it's a little bit of a drive, but it's worth it.
Well, we stayed in just a Holiday Inn last time, and it was perfect.
Love that Holiday Inn.
Yeah, it was really good.
It's got some good memories.
I mean, I haven't been to Busch Gardens for quite a long time, but I think 2013 was actually my last time at Busch Gardens.
Wow.
And I think I was the only one out of my family that rode anything. But I just, I love that place. And now that my two are 15 and 14, I'm pretty certain that Busch Gardens, whenever we can go back, which we're crossing much we can go this year, will be quite high on our list of places to go, because the thrill rides are something that they're kind of getting really into now. So it's I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm looking forward to that.
You're gonna love it.
It's really great. It's really good.
The thing is, it's a beautiful looking park. It's not like it's got the animals as well. It's got some great little restaurants. There's a nice barbecue place near Shikra.
Yeah,
always lures us in because of the smell. It's a fantastic day. It is worth going. And also you get to if you want to record your memories, take your GoPros, because Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, they allow you to have your GoPros, as long as you got the right attachments. So like your wrist strap or your chest mount, you're all good. So yeah, I would love to see you on the front row of some of those new big roller coasters out there, especially Monty.
That sounds amazing. Definitely. So there's a lot of people, and again, you can't see the comments, but there's quite a lot of people saying that they've never been to Busch Gardens. Would you believe? So
where we've had this massive gap where we've not been able to go over to Florida, I'm wondering if people are now, because so many of us have had their trips changed, and I'm wondering if in this time people are now thinking, maybe we should try that. Maybe we should, go out of, say, Disney or out of Universal. And maybe people are starting to think, sod it, why not? And Busch Gardens is definitely up there. It is.
Yeah, it is. It's a drive, but it's so worth it. Definitely worth it.
You won't, if you're disappointed, absolutely. I'll be shocked.
Well, I don't think anybody will be. I really don't. And they're certainly continuing to build some new, amazingly brilliant attractions, or revamping some attractions. So people are gonna have a great time if they go, and they do love like high thrill rides. So so that's great, guys. I'm just gonna let you have a little break. And I'm just going to go on to, if you don't mind, you can go and have your apple juice and a top and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to let these good folks know about travel news. Here we go. Oh, there we go. And my system's trying to catch up. There we go. Hello, everybody. So travel news. Here it is. Well, I'm going to do this in true new newsreader style and go doing. So all UK travel, all UK travel corridors are now closed. Doing. Short haul tour operators close operations until the end of March. Doing. Norwegian Airlines halts long haul program. Doing. And the Biden team confirmed that now is not the time to lift travel restrictions. Did you like that, Del?
I was impressed. Behind the scenes, I've just covered myself in apple juice.
So here we go. So let's just talk about all the UK travel corridors. You have to forgive me. I'm going to read some of this, so I'll be looking down. All UK travel corridors, which allows arrivals from some countries to avoid having to quarantine, have now closed. Travellers arriving in the UK, whether by boat, train or plane, also have to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test to be allowed entry. A test must be taken in the 72 hours before travelling, and anyone arriving without a negative test faces a fine of up to £500. Now, passengers will still need to quarantine for up to 10 days. This isolation period can be cut short with a negative test after 5 days in England. Now, I know what you're saying is, why are you saying this? Because we can't travel, and we can't, we're locked down, and I get that, but there are still people traveling. There are still people that need to travel for emergencies, and when we do kind of come out of this, it'll be interesting to see whether these these kind of policies are going to be put in place. Now, at the moment, the government are saying they're going to be in place until at least the 15th of February. So we don't know what that will hold after that. But at least those people who do need to travel for emergencies will know that there's going to be you're going to have to come back and travel. If you're traveling, you're going to have to come back and quarantine for at least 10 days. But one of the things that was quite interesting for the travel industry as a whole was that Jet2 have suspended all flights and holidays up until the 25th of March. So this announcement means that the airline and operators, so that's Jet2 and then Jet2 Holidays, have effectively closed off their current winter season. EasyJet have also followed suit. Now, this is quite unprecedented. That's the only time I'm going to use this word, but it just shows how fragile the travel industry is, and how they know that this is not going to recover soon. Now, I appreciate this all sounds a bit doom and gloom, but this is the kind of situation that we are in. And further sad news is that Norwegian Airlines, like one of the few airlines that actually went directly from London to MCO, has now axed their long haul network, which is really, really, really sad, because they were offering a very good service at a very good price. This led to the loss of 1,100 pilot and cabin crew jobs based in Gatwick. The carrier's board of directors have said they will continue to operate with a simplified business structure, which basically means they're going to work within the Europe short haul market for the time being. Now, this is no surprise really, because Norwegian have been on the ropes for a long time, so it's not a great surprise that this is something that's happened, but it's still really, really sad. Nonetheless, it does reduce yet another airline, another way of getting to Florida. Finally, this is probably the biggest news that affects us as lovers of Florida. The Biden team has confirmed that now is not the time to lift the travel restrictions. As you may have seen, the US President-elect Joe Biden has indicated that the country's new administration will not soften its tough COVID border measures, despite the current president and White House decree seeking an end to the various curbs on travel to and from the US on the 26th of January. That's 6 days after Biden takes office. Literally, as soon as President Biden goes in, or President-elect Biden goes in, he's going to scrap this. And again, it's no surprise. They want to actually toughen their measures against people coming in to the US to guard against the import of new COVID cases and variants. It might sound very negative and very despondent, and you might be thinking, well, I'm due to go to Florida in May or June. What are my chances? And the answer really truly is we don't know. But as somebody that's in the trade, we have seen that there are some sunnier days ahead. We have seen that there are bookings taking place. We are seeing that sales are taking place for September to December, really is where we're looking at. And the guidance that we're kind of seeing as an industry is that we are going to see more short haul kind of readily flowing from around May, and then more longer haul readily flow in from around the end of August to September. Now, that's not to say that your July, because I'm booked for July, your June, July holidays are not going to go ahead. They very well could do. With our current vaccine programs, it could be a case that, and I've said this before on another show, with our vaccine programs, it could be a case that, you know, these travel corridors can resume because the US and UK have very good vaccine programs, and we're confident in each other as how that would work. So don't be too despondent, but if you have any worries or concerns about the holiday that you have booked coming forward and you need some advice, please do not hesitate to reach out and chat to me, and I'll give you some details of how you can do that, whether you have booked through me or not, which is absolutely fine. I'm just here to help and give as much guidance as I can. So please do get in touch. So that's the end of the news. Now we can get back to the fun stuff and speak to here they are. Hopefully we'll come back. Hey. How's it going? So, well, it's all a bit doom and gloom on the old news, I'm afraid, but we know there's a... Go on.
It's it massively is what it is, and there's so many of us that have had to change the holidays, whether it's 1 trip, 2 trip, 3 trip, and there's so much uncertainty that is happening right now. But use this time to think about your next trip. Think about these new restaurants that are open up, these new attractions that eventually you'll be able to try and get on and ride, these new things. Ultimately, part of the process is actually planning. And that's all we can kind of do right now is to plan, is to get excited. It's hard to get excited for stuff when you don't know if you're going.
Yeah, but it's still good to plan.
Yeah.
Or research things.
But also, Lewis is ever so kind in basically saying, if you want the latest advice, if you want some basically professional advice, Jen right there, he's your man. He is absolutely your man to go to, without hesitation, without question. Jen and I have booked a trip with Lewis, and and there's an obvious reason for that. We love Lewis. We trust him. That's the big thing, and we don't hesitate to speak with him and get an honest opinion. And, if something's not quite right, Lewis will say, and we love that about him. And it's rare that you find that nowadays. So, trust in Lewis. We do.
Bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your kind words. I mean, it's very easy to be very salesy in an industry like this right now, especially with, so many people that are desperate. Our industry is desperate, and I'm not going to lie about that. We are desperate for people to book with us, but integrity is everything long term, and those people that are not being integrous will be found out longer term. Yeah. So I appreciate that, and that's what I want to do. Is I came into this business to help people get the best out of their holidays, and I really hope that I can continue to do that in the future. So thank you very, very much for your kind words. But enough about me. Let's go back to you guys. So this is the hints and tips section. Okay. So okay. So we talked about your experiences when you booked your very, very first trip. Looking back at that now, what advice would you give people when they are looking to plan their first trip and book their first trip?
Their first trip, for me, it would probably be to book a package for your first trip. I don't know why, but I just feel like when you get a package deal, you get everything included. And if it's your first trip and not much about it, at least you've got everything in one package, one travel agent. Virgin has a desk at MCO, so it's easy to go and ask if you have any problems. But I think if you try and do it DIY on your first time? I don't know, because we haven't, but there's a lot of things to break up on your first trip.
See, I'm glad you said that, because I was just going to be like, take some comfortable trainers, break them in, because I made a big time mistake. I bought, back then it was K-Swiss. I was like, yep, look at me in my nice white trainers. And I didn't wear them until travel day. I was that flash idiot. And then, Magic Kingdom broke me and my feet, and it gave me the biggest blisters ever. So Compede, break your trainers in.
Yeah.
Be comfortable, forget fashion. for Floyd, like, trainers is crucial. That's Compede, trainers. What's the other one that you mentioned? Drink.
Oh, a drinking bottle. Definitely.
Save yourself a lot of money.
Save a lot of money doing that.
What the every time I was going to like Tesco's and stuff, they had an offer on
The squeezies,
Robinson squeezies.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, Jen, stock up. And that was it. Yeah, the big water bottles, the squeezies, the whole lot. Done.
Yeah, cool. So what other things did you do for your first day? You mentioned the dib at the time was quite a good resource. I mean, obviously, most people who are watching tonight are going to be within our group. They are going to be within our Get Binky, do what makes you happy Florida group. So for future reference, if this goes out into a different domain, then check this group out.
Really?
But you mentioned the dib. The other resources that helped you and you would recommend to use.
I mean, the thing is, like,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Watching vloggers.
YouTube was the big one, really, because, you could type in specifically what you wanted to see. So, if you want to see the attractions out in Disney, like specifically Magic Kingdom, there's videos everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got hooked on watching people's travel days.
Yeah.
And then from travel days, you heard certain things like, the V Lounge or the Bubble or, the Magical Express.
Restaurants.
Yeah. So for us back then, it was the dib and then YouTube. That was where we learned it from. And then fast forward up until now, it was like, there are other Facebook groups out there, such as the Florida Forum, It's Orlando Time, like those ones. But we decided to create a group of people that just love Orlando.
Asking people,
love Florida and do what makes you happy attitude.
Yeah.
And the Diz. How can I not mention the Diz? The Diz is like, the Diz is huge inspiration.
Hey. Absolutely. And I've got people saying travel days are the best. Mr. Robson, who's saying, excuse me, travel days are the best. My system is not catching up, I'm afraid. So it's not showing. Then we've got, other people saying, travel days are my absolute favourite. That's from Claire. So definitely those people, there's lots of people out there who love travel days and love information on that. Because actually it's probably the scariest point if you've never been before, really knowing what to expect and going from here to here. Particularly getting through customs, immigration. Oh, what a nightmare. But that's really good advice. Yeah, absolutely. So before you actually go, you've got your case out, you've got your passport, you've got your money, but what are your 3 essential items that you have to pack? We've already heard of trainers, but are there any other essential items that you have to pack?
Fanny pack.
Oh, it's a bum bag. I do. Like, I can't do a rucksack because they always hurt my shoulders or my back.
It's my department.
Yeah, so I have to have my bum bag. I'd say Compede plasters.
Massively.
Okay.
It sounds silly, but like, well, actually, no, it's not it. I'll do it for the larger person. Chafing cream. Shaving cream. I don't care. I have no shame. No shame anymore. I would never.
But you buy that in America because it's
Yes.
better.
The American one is the best. So we have we just call it the theme park bag, as well as the camera equipment. It's, you know, anything that we think we may need. So for us, as Jen said, the compedes, we both wear contact lenses, and sometimes with having your lens in for a long time and the brightness of the sun, you can get headaches quite easily out there, or we find we do. So
Yeah.
always, you know, your paracetamol, ibuprofen, stuff like that. I know it might be a bit much, but we just take stuff that we think we may need. Probably a little bit too much, but yeah.
Water shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely for Volcano Bay and Aquatica.
Yeah. And a rash vest for the hide. Yeah.
So we had duration on our very, very last night of our trip in 2018, where my stepson Freddie, it absolutely poured it down, and he doesn't like being wet at all. And we had a fast pass. We were over at Big Thunder Mountain. We had a fast pass for Space Mountain. So we dashed through the rain and like got absolutely drenched. We came out of Space Mountain, and he basically moaned just about how wet he was. His socks were wet, his shoes were wet. So Catherine, my wife, then traipsed around the whole of Magic Kingdom to try and find him something else to wear, which wasn't suitable. Me and Evie went off and did some more rides while this was happening, and apparently we found out afterwards. Catherine marked him out of the park and said, "Right, we're going back. I've had enough of this moaning."
Oh no!
He marked him out the park, and he was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I'm really sorry." Anyway, they came back in. We did the fireworks and everything. But one of the things that we've learned is Crocs or something like that.
Yeah.
It needs to be, you know, you can wear, put in your bag an extra pair of shoes or something like that. You know, it's really really key, especially if you don't like being wet. So that's just my little thing. I'm really conscious. Sorry, Jen, you go for it.
Oh no, I was just saying we do take spare like socks and stuff because you do get quite wet. But then for me, I can wear flip flops and I'm all right.
I just deal with it.
Absolutely.
You know, I carry the bag like the all day, this rucksack, and I'm just like, I don't care, just deal with it. But then when I get back to the hotel, my feet, we've got a horrendous video clip that I can't show publicly of a blister. Oh man, this is I've got to show you.
It was the biggest blister I've ever seen.
I'm proud of it. It's huge. One day I'll show you it. No, it's not for the internet.
I can't wait.
You know, we got so much stuff that I wish we could show that we can't. It is dark Binky.
Wow. Okay. After dark, yeah?
After dark.
Cool. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's just, I'm very conscious of time because I'm keeping you guys, and I'm sure everybody's having a great time listening to you guys, but I said 60 minutes maximum and we're on 59 coming up now. So here we go. So a few little quick fire questions for you. Outside the main parks, is there anything that you would recommend others to do?
Outside the parks?
Yeah.
Well, for me, I love the outlets shopping.
Right.
I'm just like,
solid. Outside the parks. We haven't done much outside of parks.
Just do the Starflyer and see if you scream as much.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just
Orlando Eye.
Do the Starflyer challenge. See if you don't scream. Do that. Fun spot.
Absolutely.
I'd love to do a helicopter ride over one of the parks.
If anyone would like to do a helicopter ride with Jen, be my guest. I'll film it. I'd even hold the bags. I don't care. Go for it.
I'll do it on my own.
It's just not for me.
I have done. I'm also not great at heights, but I have done a hot air balloon over sort of like the 192 area and that kind of stuff. That was incredible. But I'm just throwing that out there. Your must-do restaurant.
For me, my ultimate favourite was Cinderella's breakfast.
Yeah.
Cinderella's Castle's breakfast. Second would probably be Yak and Yeti.
That's the Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Loved Olive Garden.
That was a
Breadsticks.
surprise. That was the cheapest meal outside of the parks.
Yeah, but the best.
But the best.
Yeah, it was really yummy.
Mifos.
Salad.
Perkins is really good. Mifos, yes.
Mifos are good.
Yes.
Nice.
I like all American food. I just want to put that out there.
There's so many.
We went to Hooters. Hooters was a good one.
Hooters was good.
How's your Hooters? In fact, one day we'll show
seen
that
the photo,
video because we have a real weird intro on that one. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
She
wasn't a very happy.
She wasn't a happy Hooter.
Hooter.
Bless her.
She wasn't a happy Hooter. Wow.
It will make sense when you see it. She was not impressed. But yeah, the food was nice.
Oh, well. Cool. Excellent. Awesome. And finally, well, not quite finally. So I want to know, and I know you don't really like these kind of questions, but I'm having to do it quite quickly now. Your three absolute must-do things on your trip.
Must-do. Oh my god, there's so many though. I can't just pick three.
Flight of Passage, Hagrid's, The Mummy.
Yeah, Flight of Passage, definitely.
Those will be my three.
I cried the first time I went on that.
I think every holiday you should try
Forbidden Journey and Hagrid's.
Nice, that's a good choice. Yeah,
nice, very cool, okay. So I've got some very, very quick fires for you. I'm going to do 10 random questions. I'm going to start with Jen because I believe in ladies first, and then I'll go to Del. And this is just a either or. So no, here we go. So Jen, easy one for you: Walt Disney World or Universal Studios?
Oh God, Disney.
Okay, Del, Tower of Terror or Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey?
Tower of Terror.
Cool.
Justice for the Tower.
Jen. Yeah, I thought it might be. Jen, Volcano Bay or Aquatica?
Volcano Bay.
Del, IHOP or Denny's?
IHOP.
Jen, Caribbean Beach or Port Orleans?
Oh, Caribbean.
Oh, you kind of got to say.
I love both of them, but Caribbean.
That's deep, that one.
Caribbean Beach. All right, okay. Del, Wishes or Happily Ever After?
Wishes.
Ah, interesting.
Just
Jen,
for the ending.
Fantastic.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, cool. Jen, Phantasmic or Illuminations?
Phantasmic. I could say it then.
Right, Del, this is a bit of a weird one because if you haven't driven very much, it might not mean much to you. But orange or lime?
Orange.
I'm a lime man, but there you go.
Admittedly, I can't remember which one's where, so I just went with orange because I'd rather eat orange than lime. So I can't remember which one's where.
I'm glad you knew what I meant, though. That's the main thing. I'm glad you knew what I meant, though. So that's the main thing. That's good. Okay, last one for you, Jen. Dole Whip or churro?
Dole Whip. Definitely.
Okay. And Del, King of Screams, Sky Coaster or Starflyer?
Which one I'd rather do again if I had to?
Yeah.
I, would rather do the Starflyer than the freaking Sky Coaster. That was horrific.
Yeah.
And most people will probably be like, that don't make sense because it's not as tall. Trust me, being in the sleeping bag.
Dropping.
250 foot, whatever it was. But what didn't help and I appreciate in the video it was quite funny, was those two dudes. Oh, you know, is it safe? But when you're in the moment of being scared, it didn't help. I really wanted to be like, just shut up.
No, I'm absolutely sure. I'm absolutely sure. Well, guys, thank you so very much. I do have one more question for you, and it is, you've already alluded to it. So, you know, you've got another trip booked. We know that. What are you most looking forward to, guys?
Just being there. Just getting there.
The plane landing safely. Hopefully no masks.
Yeah.
But Jen's right, just being there.
Just being there.
Yeah.
And
Just getting off the plane, the heat hitting you, moving
no
through.
worries, no stress. Yeah, leaving everything behind.
Just making new memories.
Absolutely.
Do what makes you happy.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for your time tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Now, I'm hopeful that at some point this will probably go out beyond our little group. So for if somebody comes across this and hasn't seen you before, how can they connect with you? Where can they find you? And have you got anything new coming up?
Oh, well, we are on all socials, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Get Binky. And we do have a house series vlogs coming out because we've recently moved and filmed the process.
I just want to add to that this was Jen's idea to film a house series.
It wasn't all my idea.
So I got lured into it. So yeah, the first one's coming out this
Friday.
There you go, Jen. Let's see.
One Friday and then one on Sunday.
Yeah. And so join us for that. The process of moving house. Absolutely. They say it's quite stressful, and I can now believe it.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember living in house, and it was, it wasn't fun. Well, guys, I really, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that you have, allowed me this forum as well to do this. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's been on my heart for a while, and I haven't, I couldn't be more grateful for the fact that you've given up your time tonight and made something wonderful, because I'm seeing all the comments and they're saying, thank you very much. And so thank you guys again for being here, and I so appreciate it. So thanks, guys. You've been amazing. So I'm just going to wrap up, if I may.
Go for it. Go.
Yeah. Cool. So thanks to obviously Del and Jen for being so fantastic, and thanks to you guys for sticking around and watching this. If you have any questions for the show, please do get in contact. We actually have an email address, so Your Florida Adventures, if you want to talk, if you want to ask any questions to me, or you want any questions to be put forward to on the show, and if you have if you would like to be on the show, even, because we are planning to do a number of shows over the next coming weeks. So if you're interested in being interviewed and chat about your Florida adventures, and you think you might be able to help others in the future, then that would be brilliant. So awesome. And the other thing I do have to kind of say, if I may, is if you do, as I said before, if you would like to get in contact with me, you can do through Your Great Adventures, then please do so. I'd love to help you plan your next Florida trip or your next Disneyland Paris trip or whatever. And I can do packages as well. So, if it's your first trip and you want somebody to book a package for you, then please do drop me a line, check me out on my Facebook page, or drop me an email, and I'd be delighted to help you. So this is not the end of the show run. I'm so happy to announce that next week we will be joined by, oh, let me just take the panel off because then you can see. I will be joined by Claire. So we are having another show next Tuesday on the 26th of January at 7:30, and I will be joined by Claire Allison Discott, who many of you guys know in the group and have, she does so much within our group. So it'd be great to hear about her journey to Florida. So, guys, it's been a blast. I've enjoyed it so much, and I hope you guys have too. If you've enjoyed it, please let other people know what it's about, because I'd love to get this out to other people that might want to know a bit more about Florida and help them out. Have an amazing week, and do remember, your adventure is out there. Have a good one.